G'day everyone, and welcome to Griffinix Tabletop Miniatures. In this video, we're checking out the Hekaton land fortress for the Leagues of Votann from Warhammer 40K. Now, as you can see, I've built the Hekaton land fortress, and I've chosen the Magna railgun as its main offensive weapon. I've also chosen some of the iron weapons here on the front, and the bolt cannons in the sort of pair up the back here. As you can see, iron bolt. And as you may notice, I've glued on a few parts just additionally to give it a little bit more of a personalised sort of feel. It's not really that much of a kitbash in my opinion, but it is still technically a kitbash, so let's just have a look. On here I have a few parts from a few different collections, mostly all dwarves, or entirely all dwarves. On the front of this door here, let's just try and get a better view there. I've got that part that I showed off in the review video, which is apart from the Caradron Overlord's gun hauler miniature. This goes on the front of the sort of floaty bauble bit that's at the top of the miniature. And yeah, I had a few of those spare, so it was nice to be able to use that there. And then over the riveted steel sort of things here at the ends, I've put these little mini shield things, which are clearly from the very old Warhammer Fantasy Dwarf plastic kits from before their upgrade in the year or so before the end times. I've still got heaps of spare parts from that time, so I thought, you know, why not make use of some of them in this army? Give them a little bit more of a dwarfy, squatty, old school sort of feel, at the same time as trying to keep them, you know, relatively new and modern. As you can see, I've also got a number of parts from that era. I've got two of these, which are part of the, if I remember correctly, that is, they're part of the musician. One of the options for the top of the horn, which you can have on your dwarves from back then. I've got a few of them lying around in various places. Some I've used on my Cities of Sigmar, and I thought I'd put some here as an example of just, you know, just some cool-ish iconography that they've put over their stuff. And then up here on the gun, you can see there's a little shield. There's a little round sort of piece within the armor, and I thought, oh, that can just sit over it. It's only a little bit bigger. And if you look at the other side as well, there's another one, just the same. And again, another one the same as that, just here on the rear of the vehicle. And there's another one the same in the same spot, just on the other side, just here. Then, on the back here, on the rear door, we have one of the banners or icons that you could have held by your banner bearer in the same era of dwarves. Just there. But this little bit is from the Magmadroth kit for Fire Slayers, and I thought I'd just put it in the middle there and have it hanging down, just because I thought it looked interesting, and, you know, it's a key to the door, so to speak. Haha. You know, not really, but it, you know, kind of fits. And I thought I'd put the this one, which is also from the Magma Droth kit from Fire Slayers. Just these spears things that seem to go on the, I think it's on the Rune Sun option, if memory serves, because I think he holds one himself, and then you can have that strapped on there somewhere on the miniature. But yeah, I just thought having them on the back as an option that, if they're running out of the back of the vehicle and, in theory, in my headcanon anyway, if they ever needed to use a spear on something that was coming, they could. They run out of ammunition, whatever the reason, And I thought it just looked cool to have something a little bit wild on there. On this door here, we have from that middle era, which is now part of the current Cities of Sigmar range for Age of Sigmar. The old Warhammer Fantasy Battles upgraded, you could say, reimagined Dwarves range. And it's just the same shield on there as it is on the other side. Now, I made sure that they were the same to keep it uniform, but in future Hekatons that I plan to purchase, I will just put a different design, but again pair them so that there is some general uniformity. And the one other thing you can see is, again, from the Fire Slayers Magma Droth miniature. I think it goes on the one with the Forge Father, or whatever he's called. I'm not sure. It could be the one part that goes on with the Forge, not the Forge Father, the like the king sort of guy with the key spear thing. But I'm not sure. Either way, I just thought it was a nice little touch, and just gives it that little bit less clinical feel. And if you look closely, if you haven't already noticed, I have glued this in, this clear canopy section, and there's nothing inside. Now, I did that deliberately because I intend to paint over my shielding here with gold, actually, on the inside, and then some green and yellow, depending on whether there's a stripe coming this way or the other. I've got some ideas there. We'll see how that goes. But gold is definitely going to be on the center part of the glass bits, anyway. I thought maybe silver before, but then I was like, no, my dwarves have got golden sort of visors, so I figured that being gold, just like the did I say dwarves? My my leagues of Votann, my dudes, they've got that, and so do their Ironkin. So on their little heads. So I figured that would suit better, the gold. And if you look closely, I've got another one of these little, similar to these, but with a rune on it. And for each one of these vehicles, these types anyway, each one's going to have their own. So this one's an R, or what looks like an R to us. And yeah, these still move. It's nice. When you build yours, if you're building one, just remember to, as the instructions show, not to glue these in, and be careful when you're painting them too. Try and make sure you thin your paints rather, because you want them to be, you probably do want them to still move a little. I know they're quite tight, and it might scrape some paint off a bit. But if you do it right and you do it really smoothly, it should still move a little. And that's nice. This video is really just a quick one, just so you can see what I did. And it is one of 3 planned. I do have to purchase the other 2 because where I've been ordering lately, they're out of stock. Well, this was the last one they had in stock. So yeah, I've just got to wait a little bit, I think, before I can order them, unfortunately. But I thought I'd just show you how it looks, and I wouldn't bore you with the entirety of the build. But yeah, it's always helpful to have a few bits and pieces in your bits box. So if you ever collect any other things, whether that be Age of Sigmar or Horus Heresy or any other 40k armies, it's very good to keep their parts aside and sorted if you can in some boxes, and I've got some ideas for some videos I could do about that, and there are obviously plenty of others who have done that before me out there on YouTube, and I do suggest you check them out because it's very helpful information, and keeping your things all neat and tidy and in order does help you find things a heck of a lot easier. So if you can have a way to do that, I'd recommend it. And as you can see, like it's nothing great, it's nothing fantastic that I've done to it, nothing crazy. It's just been some extra parts glued onto the surface, really, and that's it. It just gives it that little extra level of personalisation, and that was my aim. You may see at the top as well, I chose the that sort of missile pod looking thing with the multiple missiles, and I glued this open, so it's going to be a bit tricky to paint under there, but both surfaces are going to be the same colour, so it won't matter too much, I don't think. It just might be a bit tricky for me to complete. Anyway, yeah. Just a quick, like I said, video to recap on this hobby progress. Hope it was interesting for you. I hope you got some inspiration or ideas of what you could do. And before we get to the very end of the video, just a quick look at the assembled bit at the back there again, but down here we'll focus on. As I said in my review, looks like buffers from a Australian or British train. And I'm sure there are other parts of the world that did things in that manner, but obviously not everywhere. And a coupling in the middle. Again, at the time, I said, I wonder if that's a sign of things to come. If there's perhaps a trailer that might come out, or something that might be able to be pulled by this or another variant of this kit. And I kind of hope that there is. Yeah. Does look like a rear of a train down there. A nod to the old squat land trains. Now, what do you guys think? Do you have this kit? Have you built it? And if you have, or if you plan to get one in the future, what weapon did you choose, or will you choose as the main weapon up here? Will you have chosen to have the bolt cannons combination with the ion ones? Are you going to make them all one weapon as opposed to splitting up the difference like I have there? Would you ever think to personalise it a bit with physical displays of, just other parts and bits and bobs? And if so, do you have a different idea, a different way to represent them on your model? I'd be very, very interested to hear what you might have to say down in the comments below. Now, again, if you like this content, please don't forget to subscribe, give me that like, and hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all future Votann and other 40k, Horus Heresy, and Age of Sigmar content. I am actually interested in other things as well, but for now, we'll stick with Games Workshop products for the moment. Anyway, I've been Matt the Hat, and I thank you all very much for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one.